Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Houseplantpixie. For everyone that's new to my channel, my name is Monique and welcome back, and thanks for tuning back in to my existing subscribers. If you could watch this video all the way to the end, that would be fantastic. Comment, like and share. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell on the side so you get notified when I upload a new video. I upload a new video every week. And yeah, today's episode is about my Philodendron Majestic. I had it for quite some time, and for a very long time it wasn't doing well. It was actually doing nothing, and yeah, that's the reason why I'm going to prune it. The base of it is really thin, it's too top heavy, and yeah, I just don't like it. I could probably leave it the way it is, but we're just making the chop. So I'm going to prune it really hard. I'm going to prune it right at the base. I know you probably think now, whoa, that's crazy, but in my experience you might lose the base, but I'm happy to take that risk. Rarely, well actually I'm pretty confident to say, whenever I pruned a cutting, I always developed, like I always managed to get root on it. So yeah, so we're gonna cut it. We're gonna make the first cut up here. Oh, it's so wobbly. I'm gonna make a cut here, another cut there, and another one here, and then I'm gonna cut it right at the base. Oh, right down there, right here. And I will give you an update. This plant has come a super long way. When I first got it, unfortunately it had some sort of mites on it, so I had to trade it, and I think that's why it's so weak on the base, but I'm not worried. The cuttings I will be soaking in coconut. This is unpaid. They did send me their product. It's like a plant-based powder, so you dissolve it in water and you just follow the very simple instructions. I've done it with my Monstera Peru cuttings, and so I've done it, I compared the ones I traded with the coconut and the ones I didn't trade with coconut, and there was a huge difference. So I'm absolutely, but keep in mind you have to soak them, I think it's an hour only, so do set yourself a timer if you're someone like that goes off like me. I do plant stuff and I end up in the shed repotting something, and before I was watering or doing something completely different, and the time just flies, so keep that in mind. Okay, now let's just prune this. It's also not in a very, it's still in the stock tube pot. But when I got this, I got it as a cutting, and I had it in one of those humidity domes. Do I have one handy? Yep, I got one. Just leave that there like that. I've rooted it in Perlite in one of those humidity domes, and yeah, that worked wonders. And once it had 2 leaves, it took off and it didn't need the dome anymore. It didn't fit the dome anymore, I should say. So let's prune it. So as I said, I'm going to make the first cut. This is our first. I'm probably going to trim that. A lot of people say, yeah, leave enough room. If it's rotting, you can cut something off, but the root's developing from this node here, and I just don't see the point having that there. This is our first cutting. For everyone that don't know that, this is the tip cutting. The tip cutting is very popular. Whenever I buy a cutting, I don't mind if it's a mid stem or a tip cutting. Makes sense why it's a tip cutting, because it's the tip. But the tip cutting is very popular because apparently that's faster growing, faster rooting, which when I've rooted my Monstera Peru cuttings, not the case. All the mid stem cuttings rooted first, and the tip cutting is still in Perlite. But that's okay. It has developed 2 more leaves where the other ones only have 1 leaf. So it's probably right in that aspect that it's faster growing. So keep that in mind, tip cutting. Alright. I'm going to put these in Perlite. And second one. I'll just chop it up, and then I'll show you what I've got left. Another cut. And actually, I'm thinking, if I could plant that a little bit deeper, but no, I'll cut it. It's too floppy. I don't like it. Alright, mid stem cutting number 2. Number 3. They're really nice sizes. That's the shed. When the leaf develops, it will have that protectant around it. That's no longer needed now, so I'll just peel it off. That's the from the very bottom. And last but not least, the base, or whatever is left of it. Might actually no, I'm not gonna prune it lower. There's a node there, and there's another node here, so there's a few nodes. So I haven't cut it that low. And the ones I trimmed, these are just sticks I will put in the bin. So if anyone is ever selling anything like that to you, that is useless. It's nothing will grow from it. You need the node. Sorry, I have not covered that. So that bubbly bit, sometimes you don't have the area root showing. When they're not showing, always look for that. It's almost like a lump, very easy to find. Do not overthink it. What I just chopped off in between, we call that the internode, and then you have the next node. Yeah, a lot of people say when you cut you should leave at least 2 nodes. Again, in my experience, not a big deal if you just have 1 node. We have 2 nodes on the tip cutting, 1 node, and they are all 1 node. But when I pruned my variegated Monstera, they developed into beautiful plants, and I had 1 node cuttings. So it was fine. I should cover why you prune. So some plants, as you know, they grow towards the light and then they go on a lane, and you might wanna, if you have a bushy plant, you can rotate it. If you miss rotating it and it's too heavy on a lane, then you just prune it to even out the shape of the plant. Then you prune a plant to remove dead leaves, or say like for roses, dead flower, which is called deadheading. What else? You actually promote growth. Whenever you prune a plant, you will not kill the plant, you will benefit the plant. It is proven that when you prune a plant, it will grow back better and stronger. I have some really annoying plants in the garden that I have to prune back because of the fence line, and you probably all know that they grow back bigger and better and stronger. Yeah, so when you do prune, it's not so much with houseplants, but usually you say like you have a ficus and you don't want to it reaches ceiling and you just don't have any room anymore. You don't want to prune more than 2/3 unless your ficus breaks like mine did. Anyway, 2/3. And also when you prune from the top, just keep in mind that you take a little bit from the root ball, which is convenient because if you're running out of room or you don't want a bigger pot, then you just, or you want to freshen up the soil and the plant is fairly root bound, and you trim some of the roots and you take some, saying don't take too much off. I think it's the same rule as for the branches, no more than 2/3. You can prune it away and then take the same amount off the top, so the plant is balanced. And they're soaking in the coconut now. This is the package. I'm just saying it again, this is not paid advertisement. They simply sent me one of the packages for me to try, and it's just amazing stuff, so I just want to recommend it. So for propagation, it's 1/2 tablespoon per 500 ml of water, and you soak it for 1 hour. Don't think you're soaking your cuttings and this goes to waste. I'm going to use it tomorrow. You can reuse it to spray your foliage or to water your plants with it. Alright guys, now all you need is a vessel, perlite and a sock. I'll get to that. Don't think, oh, she lost the plot. No, I have a reason. Maybe some of you that seen an episode where I said it before know what's coming, but yeah. So I love using these jars. They left over from sauces. I've got a whole cupboard full. They're fantastic. I'm not a big fan of using plastic. I don't know. I love to use a glass vessel. Here's the perlite. And I like to use a pen just to make like a bit of a, you know, when you put your cutting in. And you want to put your cutting in, wiggle it in to about there. So you pull your pen out and you wiggle in your cutting. Right. And I put 2 in one vase. I'll shimmy that one into this. The knot is covered. And we do the other 2. Oh, they're already done. Yep, it just might be a little bit, oh yep, that's coming back out, so I'll push that back. So just push. You can use something else, you can use, I just had the pen on hand, and then very gentle push it in. You can apply a little bit of perlite to the top if you don't want to push it in, that's fine too. Now with the watering, I'll show you on the other vessel. See, that's yeah, I'll eat pesto sometimes. Handy, super handy to keep that. Alright, now with the water, you might not see how much water I put in here, but the water with the perlite, you pre-soak. If it's perlite out of the package, I'd recommend you pre-soak it for a couple of hours. Some people like to boil it. I just put it in water, leave it there for 2 hours, drain it and use it. So the water is sitting about here, and now the sock. Use whatever you like. I think with the perlite it's a bit different, but if you do water propagate, keep in mind if you have a glass vessel, the roots develop better when it's a dark environment. So where's my sock? So I just like to cover my vessel. You know, we all have that washing machine that swallows socks. And we all have that 1 or 2 or 3 single socks laying around. And then, perfect. And it looks pretty cool too. You can tidy that up a bit better, but yeah, that's the idea. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, give it a like. And let me know what you think of this video. Do you like to prune your plants? Are you quite hesitant? I hope I made you a bit more confident to actually go out and prune your plants. Alright, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay planty. Bye!